What's up, guys? It's Mama D. I'm here to turn it up a notch and chop it up.
Turn me up!
We be going over time. We be going over time.
What them haters are saying. Tell me what you want.
We be going over time.
They gon' make me ride on this one, nigga.
We be going over
Get
time.
'em.
We be going over time. We be going over time.
Hey, tell me what you want.
We be going over time.
Tell me what you want.
We be going over time.
Y'all gon' make me come out.
Chop it up. Chop it up. Chop it up.
Pigeon brain bitch. Money won't buy taste. You pigeon brain bitch. And you're unpleasantly sour. You pigeon brain bitch.
Huskies helmet.
That's sweet. You
Oh
pigeon
no,
brain bitch.
we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that.
So you don't want a gifted one? A little thank you. It's gonna be like it's gonna stay outside.
I got a shovel. You go ahead and bring it.
So, welcome y'all once again. We're on Chop It Up with your boy Sos Dior. Today my special guest is Mama D, for those of you that don't know. So we just gonna get right into it. So, so right before the beginning of the set, you was saying like this is your first time interviewing. So
Yes, it is.
yeah, so we ain't gonna do nothing crazy like that. So you don't have to worry about it being like awkward or nothing like that. We're
Right.
really just chopping it up. So
Right.
first of all, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
My first question is like, because I know like you kind of were watching some of the previous episodes, like
Yes.
what is your take been of like just watching the other episodes and kind of just from the third eye view before being on the show?
Well, I do feel like it is what the name is, Chop It Up. You really are just having a conversation. I feel like it's getting a little deeper, and it's I feel like you can get to know the people that you've had on here.
Yeah, and that's for me. That's partially what it's been about because I've been like recording music for like the last 3 years, right? So
Yeah.
a lot of people don't know like I was a recording artist in Canada. So coming back to Seattle,
I saw that on the
you know.
Melodies Merge episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been like, well, they don't know who I am, right? And so for them, they're like, they treat me as like a newbie, right? They're like,
Right.
when I'm talking about like getting a feature for a song or whatever, they're
Right.
just like, oh, well, I don't know this guy. Like, who is he? And so there's been a lot of disrespect shown from that perspective. So part of it was the reason for building the podcast was really to showcase to people like, hey, like, no, I've actually been out in the community.
Yes.
Here's the people I've been working with, like,
Yes.
going to your show at Tony V's and
Yes.
things of that nature where it's like, oh, no, he's been a part of the scene. He's not
Yes.
brand new. We just didn't know because he started somewhere else.
Right.
So, so like for me, like that's really what it was about was like, hey, just showcasing like, no, like he's working with Mama D, he's working with, Sir Mix-a-Lot, or he's working with,
That's
whoever.
right.
And so,
Right.
so it's kind of been like a blessing in disguise, really. So,
Yes.
yeah. So with that being said, like, I know it's brand new. So we'll just start off simple. So you was talking about like the Huskies. What made you ask about the Huskies?
Because I'm a Washingtonian, I love all Washington teams on this side of the mountain.
Okay.
The UW, I love it. It's a beautiful campus, and I love their football, all of it.
Do you ever get a chance to go to their games? Or?
No, I've never been to a UW game. I've been to in Jacksonville, Florida. I went to one of their games.
That's the Gators,
It's the Florida,
or the pro team.
the pro team.
Oh, so the Jaguars.
Jaguars, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only NFL place I've ever been.
Oh,
I
wow.
never got to see one, or college either. I haven't seen one of those yet.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to make some connections and see
That
what
would
I
be
can
cool.
do. Yeah, I got a few connections that have tickets to Husky games, so
That would be
they
cool.
try to offer them to me, and I'm like, nah, I'm not going. but you have to understand, like, so for me, I'm very much like, how do I explain it? Like, I'm humble but a hard worker. So like a lot of times, like, I think it gets taken for granted because, like, for example, so to give you a little bit of history of like the Huskies was. So, like I said, my music career started in Canada.
Yeah.
So, when I came back to here, I was trying to go back to school, get my marketing degree, because I wanted to figure out, well, how do I reinvent myself here? Because I was in Canada for like almost 10 years. So, how do I reinvent myself here in Washington again? Because I didn't know, like, I wasn't in the hip hop scene here, didn't know promoters.
Right.
It was literally like starting over from scratch. So, long story short, when I was going back to school, you know, I applied to the UW because I was like, hey, like my sister's already graduated here from the UW. My uncle, or not my uncle, but my godfather's Bruce Harrell, the Seattle mayor.
Okay.
So, you know, he played football for the UW.
Yeah.
So, you know, just was like, hey, like I have a family history here with the UW.
Yeah.
You know, this would be a great opportunity for me to be the third in my family to graduate from the UW.
Yeah.
You know what the UW told me?
What?
This is how sad it is today. They denied my application because they said they make more money off of a foreign exchange student coming in as a freshman because I was going to be a transfer student. So they denied my application to give the admittance to a freshman foreign exchange student.
Oh man.
So needless to say, they didn't care about my grades. They didn't care about what I did in the community. They didn't care about the fact that I'd be the third from my family to graduate from there. They didn't care that I was trying to join the FBI. Like, they didn't care.
Yeah.
And so for me, that's when I was like, to me, I understand they do it for a financial aspect, but for me, I'm like, how pathetic is that?
They forget that you're a person too.
You know, that you forget that, hey, here's a hard-working guy in the community who's from Seattle, which is why these campuses were made to begin with, to support the local economies. Yeah. But you're not willing to support one of your own.
Wow.
To give you another example, just recently, so I have a song called Pump that's getting ready to release on I have a EDM project. Okay. So super high tempo, like there's no cussing in the song. Yeah. I reached out to my high school and was like, hey, I'm an alumni from my school. Yeah. And they were like, they went and looked at some of my music videos previously or whatever, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna have to pass. And it's like, you're judging me off of something you've seen, but you're not judging me off of what I'm trying to do or where I'm trying to go. Right. And so once again, it's like, you know, I hate to say it, but man, fuck my alumni school. I'm not gonna call you out, but trust me, anybody who does their research on me, they're gonna find out who you are. Fuck you. Because what they don't understand is they don't understand the difference between being a person versus a persona that you're trying to create. Right. And they mix the lines and they're like, hey, you know, we don't like what you're doing, we don't like what you stand for. But it's like, to put it into perspective, just so you guys all understand, right? Because Reddy Ron's talked about it, some of the other people talked about it. I have 17 albums that are getting ready to release. Yes. Not songs, 17 albums. Yeah. So in total, we're talking 250 songs. Right. You're gonna judge me off of 3. Right. As opposed to what is the message behind all of it? Yeah, dig deeper into it. You see what I'm saying? And like that's where a lot of times like I'm really kind of almost biased now because I'm like, I'm tired of being judged off of like such a small percentage of my work. I'm tired of being judged because I'm not a foreign exchange student who's you know, who's paying $150,000 for their education. Like at some point, we as a culture need to change how we view things and say, hey, look, what is this person trying to do? Yeah. Right? We talk about being in the community. So here's another one. Okay. So the same song, I reached out to 7 different mascots here in the state of Washington, right? Because I was like, hey, when the song blows up, I don't want somebody calling my phone saying, well, why didn't you try to include us? Correct. So I reached out to baseball teams. I reached out to hockey teams. I reached out to the local colleges. I even reached out to the women's semi-pro football team here in the state of Washington. Okay. Not one mascot responded and said that they would do it. They're like, hey, well, what are you trying to do? Well, I need 15 minutes for a music video shoot. Yeah. What do you want the mascot to do? They just got to jump around and be a mascot. Be a mascot. Just be a mascot. Do what you do. Do what you do. How simple can it be, right? You know what I'm saying? And so, same thing. I reached out to 7 professional teams. Even wrote a letter to a president of one of them. Got no response. So it's like, you know what? Fuck you. Like, when the song blows up, I don't want to hear about it. Right. Because everybody's going to be ringing my phone. Well, why don't you ever write songs about Seattle? Why don't you ever work with Seattle artists? Why don't you do this? Because every time I've tried to work with a Seattle artist, I get bullshit. I try to work with professionals, I get bullshit. I work with local small business entrepreneurs, I get bullshit. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, so to answer your question, like about, because like I know like we talked previously about just even like the video aspect, right? Yes. So here's an ironic story you may not have known. So my first album released last year, right? January last year, Martin Luther King's Day. And what was interesting was that I flew my team, so I flew my videographer, photographer, and my security guy down to LA to go shoot 2 videos. Okay. Right? I'm trying to pay homage to Nipsey whole nother story. So we talked about it a month in advance. We sat down a week before we left. Was supposed to go down there, shoot the videos. They knew what the itinerary was.
Yeah.
Videographer misses the flight. He says to me, "Hey, well, I had a show the night before, and I overslept."
Wow.
So I'm thinking to myself, okay.
That's the main.
So I'm like, you're doing a show here in Seattle, knowing you're supposed to fly to LA, but you didn't make the LA trip a priority, knowing you're flying out of state. Like someone's paying to fly you out of state to go do your work.
Yeah.
And you're gonna miss that flight.
Right.
And then when I catch up to him, he's like, "Oh well, sorry, I can't get your time back. What do you want to do?" I lost it.
Yeah.
I lost it.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that. I lost it.
Wow.
But that's what I get for trying to invest into small local businesses here. And so one of the things that I really...
You're going to find that one, though.
Yeah.
You're going to find that one.
Yeah.
Just keep throwing your fishing pole in there.
Well, no, I'm going to be honest.
Or we're going to find you.
Truthfully, I hate to say it, but Seattle's burnt bridges with me that cannot be repaired. Like, it's unfortunate because when people ask me, well, why don't they know me in Seattle? This is exactly why. I was met with like all the hostility and and just the levels of disrespect before, which is why I was like, you know what? I'm from Seattle, but I'm gonna take my music elsewhere. Like I blew up in Canada. Like people don't like. It's interesting because like what we're trying to accomplish now as hip hop artists in the Seattle community. Like, okay, let's put it in perspective.
Okay.
What's the largest capacity show that you've performed in front of?
Oh boy. Probably, I don't know. How many people fit in Tony V's?
Okay. I'm not sure what the number is.
Maybe
but
300. Maybe less.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, how many times would you say you've done that? With that capacity?
That's probably the biggest so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, to put it into perspective, as an independent with no major artists attached to my record label,
right?
I was consistently selling out shows of 300 plus
Yes.
on my own accord as an artist coming out of Canada.
Okay.
So I had my own tour. I had 17 artists on my record label that were affiliated with me. Like we put on productions that were larger than most crowds that people perform in front of. So, and it's not, this isn't about me bragging. It's about to put it in a perspective of like, hey, this is what this guy was doing consistently.
Yeah, that's only right there at the border.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And so like coming back here and I'm watching like artists perform and they've got, 30 people at the show or 50 people. You know, it's like, for me, it's kind of almost a slap in the face because it's like, man, like, I used to do shows of 300 plus, 400, 500 plus, and like, to do a show for 50, it's not disrespecting the 50, but it's like, what do I need to change to get back to where I was at? You know, and so like, that's why for me, it's like, it's not, I love Seattle, I'm originally born and raised here, but our scene isn't as supportive as we need it to be.
Right.
And partially when I'm looking now, I'm looking at these artists. Like I can't tell you how many times like I done like reached out to an artist. I'm like, hey, like I got a song I think you'd be great for. Okay, cool. I send it to them. They're like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna get it back to you, and they'll say like a week. It'll be months.
Right.
Never hear from them. So like, I'm curious. Do you have those kind of issues with trying to get features, or is it more like with you? Like, are you mainly just focused on like on your record label? And just working with the artists on your record label?
Well, I worked with Cherie from J Diggs camp.
Okay.
And she probably got back to me, I want to say she was back within the month for her feature, but I did the voice note for her and sent her all the lyrics and everything. And then I worked with Shauna Knapp from Kansas City.
Okay.
And she took a little bit longer to get back to me. I think it was because she was trying to match my cadence. And so it took her a little more to write it and get it together. But I've been doing okay with features, yeah. Just a couple features for now. We have Marvelous, and she got back to us within a month.
Okay.
And so, yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, well, no, that's crazy because like
it's been okay.
Well, but some of those are like more professional artists.
Yeah.
They're not like up and coming artists.
Right.
The up and coming artist is where it's like, okay, hey, it's like I'm trying to bring you on like before it goes, because once it goes, like I'm not turning back. Like
yeah, and studio access is not always easy for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you'll go to a place and it just doesn't work out, or it's hard to find it at a decent price. You know, because a starving artist when it comes to stuff like that. So I have like a small budget to work on. So
Yeah.
I try to just work with those who really feel me. You know, if you feel me, then let's work together. If you don't, then you know, go on to the next person.
Yeah. So so where are you back? Where are you like recording right now?
Well, right now we don't have a studio.
Oh, okay.
So we're in between.
Got it. Yeah, I'll be honest, that's been a struggle too.
Yeah.
Because my first album actually was recorded in 2020. I've still yet to release it. The album's been done for we're 2025, so let's just say 4 years, right?
Yeah.
The album's been done for 4 years, but it's still yet to release. But that was why, because I didn't have trouble necessarily with the studio. I was having trouble with getting it mastered correctly.
Oh, okay.
So the first mastering engineer paid to get it mastered, never sent me the masters. So,
our mix master is in Florida. His name's sorry, I froze up there for a second.
Oh no, you're good.
Oh my gosh. It'll come to me. His name's Moshe.
Okay.
And he's from here too. But he moved to Florida. He does all of our mixing and mastering. And he's really good.
Yeah, that was part of my struggle. Was like the first one didn't send them, waited about a year, and then after that happened, I was like, "Fuck this! I'm not dealing with this shit." So I built my recording studio, re-recorded the album,
Re-recorded the same thing.
Re-recorded the album from scratch.
Okay.
Went to get it mastered. Second guy came back. That's a whole nother story, but we'll leave that one off record. Never got my masters. So then basically now I'm on engineer number 3 to remaster the same project I've already paid 2 to master.
Wow.
So
I have to hook you up. I know somebody.
Yeah. So but that's partially why, like, you know, I'm at this point in my career where it's like I can't continue to go down that path because it's making me look bad, because when I'm out in the streets and I'm like, oh hey, you know, I'm an artist, and people go, well, how many followers do you have?
Right.
You know, and they're like, oh, well, you only have 75 followers.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so here we go, already judging me. And I'm like, yeah. You know, and honestly, I take it with pride now, because I'm like, you know what? I've got 75 followers. And they're just like, oh, well, you must not be doing your thing. And I'm like, huh, if only you knew.
I'm not sitting there staring at this. I'm doing the art part. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your project should speak for themselves, too.
Yeah. Well, what people don't realize is, like, I had 2 accounts that had 5,000 plus followers on it, but when I got kicked out of Canada, I had to remove all of that.
Oh.
So literally, I deleted everything from social media. So like, there was no Sos Dior at that point or so.
Right.
So people don't realize like how big I really was. It's only those who were actually there that go, wow, no, you don't know who you're fucking with, because that dude was on top of the fucking game. Like, because at the time when I was coming out, it was the same time that Drake was coming out of Toronto.
Okay.
And so like, people don't understand it. Like, the best analogy I can give people was like Pac and Big, because he was west of the Edmonton west of Edmonton.
Yeah.
I was west of Edmonton. He was east in Toronto and so forth. And like, man, I was touring with Jules Santana. Cool. Like, you know, I was working. You know, I did shows with The Game. Like, all kind of stuff, right? But people don't understand that because they weren't there to physically see it, and because I have no proof, because I had to delete everything.
Delete it all, yeah.
You know, like, to get like, it was crazy. Like, the craziest experience was like, so, you know, we have like the Good Morning America show. And, so I actually performed on Canada's version of that. Okay. Live on air doing hip hop music, which was like, they had never done that before. Yeah. And so like, the only problem is that it was before like the whole digital media age. So like, it was on a VHS tape somewhere. Right. So I have the recording somewhere, but I gotta find the VHS tape to be able to you know, digitize, to be able to like, you know, bring it back. But, you know, but to give people like that kind of insight, like, wow, like he performed on basically Good Morning America in Canada.
Right.
Like, that's huge,
that
right?
Is huge,
like, you know, not a lot of people get those type of opportunities. But regardless, this wasn't about me. We kind of digressed, but
that's okay.
So how's your new album doing? Like tell the fans like about your new album and what's going on.
Well, the one that I already released, or what I'm working on, okay. I just kind of wanted to tell my story, you know what I'm saying? I kind of talked about my mom and my dad on there. I kind of talked about smoking on there. I kind of do a little bit gangster stuff. I really wanted to do an array, maybe a song for everybody kind of thing, and tell my story. So I met Shrek, and he told me that he liked to promote music and he loves music. And I said, well, I used to rap. And he was like, nah, you don't, today. He said, let me give you a couple beats, you know what I'm saying? I said, okay, well, he gave me 2 and I went and wrote to him and came back to him and I spit it to him. And he was like, oh yeah, we're going to go to the studio. So then we said, let's make a couple songs. Then we said, let's make 7 songs. And then after the 7, he was like, let's make it 10. I ended up making 12 altogether. And then just really kind of want to just tell the world who I am from my perspective, you know what I'm saying? And hopefully I can relate to somebody, you know what I'm saying? The way I was raised was different than a lot of people. My dad was a biker, my mom was a banker. So I'm trying to kind of show you where I get what I get from my dad and then what I get from my mom. And I'm a Gemini, so I like to do a little bit of low and a little bit of high.
That's fair. So what's the name of your project so that the fans know to look
It's
for?
called Queen Green, Mama D on Bang City Records, all platforms.
Okay. Well, we'll make sure that we include the link so you guys can check that out for sure. So, I get asked this question a lot, so I'm gonna ask you the question.
Okay.
On your project, what's your favorite song on the project? Like we know you recorded them all, so they all have their own identity for you. But if you had to pick one that you relate to personally more, which one would it be?
I would have to say the one I did with Cherie, and that's called Open Minded.
Okay.
And that talks about my childhood and how I came out of how I was raised to love people individually.
Okay.
So Open Minded, check it out.
Yep, we'll definitely do that for sure. So what else is going on with you? You said you were working on another album.
I am. I'm going to do a 2-disc album. It's about my childhood and then being a woman. So
Okay.
the first half is going to be, my wild times and, having a kid when I was 17 on Hilltop, Tacoma General before it was any other hospital or something, and living in a diverse community and just, I guess that's it. Really.
So tell me about what was it like growing up on Hilltop and then moving north?
Okay,
well, that's 2 different.
Yeah,
very different.
Well, I didn't grow up there. I was a runaway, and that's where I found peace and solace and people that would help me.
Oh, okay.
And then I had kids and all that good stuff. And then I lived on Pack Highway for a while and was doing some crazy stuff that we was doing in the crack era. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Trying to make some money. And then after my kids got a certain age, I decided to move up north to try to raise them in a better place. You know what I'm saying? I really liked the area that we were at and thought it was a better school districts. But
Wow.
Life goes on.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. Because I think a lot of times people too, they listen to your song or they might get a perception of where you are coming from, but don't necessarily truly understand like how integrated you are in not just one area, but the whole.
I'm from all over the Northwest. I really don't have a hometown. You know what I'm saying? It's just the greater Pacific Northwest.
So if there was one place you would like to, not necessarily retire, but you would long term see yourself, which part of Washington would that be? Because it's funny because as I started shooting music videos, I've been starting to find these hidden gems, and it's
beautiful.
Oh,
it's beautiful here.
You see the houses, and you're just oh, I didn't know those was here.
So my sister has a house on Spanaway Lake.
Okay.
And it's great. I love it out there. So probably South Tacoma.
Okay.
Would be a good home.
You might have to talk to Cocaine about that and see if he'll make room.
You know what I'm saying? You got a spare bedroom for me?
Yeah, because I know he lives out that way. But it's funny. Melody's Merge actually is filming out of the Spanaway area, so I'm starting to kind of dive deeper into that area and learn more about it. But it's interesting because I just met a contact the other day, and they were they were talking to me about these different parts of Seattle, and I was like, oh, I don't know what that is or where that is,
Okay.
So I'm learning as I'm starting to do more film work that there's so many other places I need to get out and explore, because it's hey, where do you go? I used to go to the studio, but now that I built the studio, it's I just go to my own studio.
Right.
If I need to do my video production work, where do I go? I just go to my office.
Right.
I'm not getting out as often anymore because everything's all in-house. So to all of you who want to do things in-house, it's cool, but the downfall is you don't get out and network in your community, and so you lose that aspect of it. So it's kind of, you have to find a good balance. But if it's things of importance, keep it in house.
Right.
You know, control your costs. But
Right.
outside of that, you know, it's good to get out and just explore and, you know, go try a coffee shop in the
Right.
crazy neighborhood that's an hour away. You know,
Yeah.
you find like all these different hidden roads and things of
Yeah.
that nature. So like,
Yeah.
I always find that that's cool.
And anywhere you turn in Washington, if you're on a freeway, anywhere you turn, you can take a picture
Yep.
and hang it on your wall. You could get a lake, you can get a mountain. We even got a desert on the other side of the mountain, there's almost always water when you're on the freeway, either way you turn, and you can hang it on your wall. It's that beautiful here.
Yeah.
That's probably the most beautiful place that I've been, is where we live.
Yeah.
I love it here, yeah.
And actually, speaking of going across the mountains, there's a one of my favorite brands is Killian Popcorn.
Okay.
But they're based east of the mountains.
Okay.
And so I've been talking to one of the owners, Lisa, and was like, hey, like I'm trying to get you on my podcast because I love your popcorn. The world needs to know about you. And they're like, well, wait, where are we doing this? I'm like, no, don't worry about it. I'm coming to you because I'm coming to film.
You want to go get some of that popcorn?
Right. Honestly, flat out, hands down, the best popcorn I've ever had.
Is it like a caramel?
No,
or is it actual popcorn?
They make like 30 different. Well,
What?
Lisa, please don't kill me. But it's like 30, 35, 40 different flavors, and like they're all phenomenal.
Okay.
I've yet to try one that I didn't like.
Okay.
So the thing is like you're like, man, like how many do I want to buy right now? Because it's like
Because I gotta go back over the mountain.
you know, Killian Corn does like different fairs, so you can usually get it at like the Washington State Fair
Okay.
or Puyallup Fair for those of you guys who call it that.
Okay.
But yeah, you can get like her popcorn and stuff there. But outside of that, you've got to go find it like in some like hole in the wall spot.
Yes.
So
yes.
Lisa, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make you go global, so now we can just pick it up from wherever. So
That's right.
needless to say, yeah, like phenomenal popcorns.
Okay.
But with that
What
being
was
said,
their name again?
oh, Killian Corn.
Killian. Okay.
Yeah. So I partner with Lisa as well too because for the Seattle Bombers football team,
Okay.
she actually made a flavor for us specifically.
Oh wow.
But that was one of my connects was like, hey, like what is it gonna take to get you guys to partner with the Seattle Bombers and
Right.
make popcorn for us because
Right.
yeah, like it sells
So
out.
does the Seattle Bombers have a mascot?
Yes and no.
Uh-huh.
I created the mascot,
Okay.
but I couldn't find someone to be the mascot.
Oh.
So, and then right after all of that, COVID hit. And so, like, needless to say, like, I never got the mascot up and running.
Right,
but,
right.
because honestly, it's so funny you say that because as soon, when I was thinking about the video and I was, like, struggling to get these other mascots to do it, I was like, you know what? Dang it, I'll bring my own mascot. And then I had to think about it for a second. I was like, oh, wait a minute. I don't have anybody to be the mascot.
Yeah.
So needless to say, so that's why that didn't work out.
I was just curious when you said the Bombers. I was like, wait a minute, we found somebody, for that video.
Yeah. And so part of it too is the Bombers haven't played the last 2 seasons because I've been so focused on getting the music out, which has taken longer because once again the album didn't release in 2020. Still trying to get it out. Like so, that's where it's like like I'm at this point in my career where it's like, okay, hey fellas, like if Sos Dior is trying to work with you, like you really got to be on your A game because you're screwing up the football team, you're screwing up the music scene. Like he's got so many more adventures that he wants to accomplish. That
Yeah.
it's like a domino effect. It's like people always would say in business, right? Like, what's your 5-year plan? Well, my 5-year plan was get the football team up and running, build a community where I can I don't know if you knew this about me. So part of what it was when I got kicked out of Canada, I walked away from music cold turkey.
Yeah.
Right? So imagine I had 15 albums out, I'm touring, I'm doing everything I needed to do. Cold turkey just had to cut it off. So I'm like, okay, well now what do I do? So I went back, just started working, but as a part of that, I was out, I don't remember where I was at like Dick's Sporting Goods just looking at something. I think I was looking for a Frisbee. And this guy goes, hey, he's like, you look like you play football. And I was like, well, I played football in college and that and whatnot. And he was like, oh, well, there's a semi-pro league. You should go check them out. So long story short, I got back into playing semi-pro football, right? Because at the time I was like 30. So it was like I couldn't go back to college and play. I already used up all my eligibility. So I was like, yeah, sure, well, I'll go check it out. So I got back into playing football heavy.
Yeah.
So fast forward the tape, ended up becoming a head coach and owner of a team, which is how the Seattle Bombers came about, which is the helmets that you see, like the gray and the blue ones. Those are from our team.
Cool.
But as a result of all of that, it's like, well, hey, like I still have a love for music. So my thought was, if I build the Seattle Bombers football team correctly, our home stadium, French Field, seats 7,000 people. So hold that thought. So I'm thinking football first. If I build the fan base, how cool is that, right? Because it's off season of the Seahawks, off season of the Huskies. Right. But in addition to that, imagine if I build the fan base to love the football team, but now I give a hip hop artist or up and coming artist the ability to perform in front of 7,000 people. Yeah. If I'm able to do that week in and week out for the entire season, so every week I would have a different performing artist, how cool of an opportunity is that? Because like as we said earlier, the most we perform in front of is 50, maybe 300 if it's a sold out song.
I might have overshot when I said 300. I was thinking about that, and I was like, I don't know really how big of a crowd we do it. I pretend in my head like it's a stadium. Yeah. So in my head, I perform it for everybody. You know what I'm saying? But I might have overshot on that. But we're trying to make big moves. We're trying. Yeah.
But that's where it's like like to put it in perspective: 300, 500, 7,000. Imagine performing in front of a sold out football stadium.
That would be amazing.
Like that's the vision that I'm trying to create.
You still have that vision?
Yeah. So so like that was my goal, was to build a football community that loves football, loves watching the players before they become all-star pro bowlers, but also create an atmosphere where local artists can come and perform the crowd of their dreams, right?
I wanted to go back on that when you said local artists. It just hit me that I also have another album with my group, Spoken Prophets.
Oh, okay.
It's called Town Business. It's on all platforms with Bank City too. Okay. That's my son and one of my friends, and we made a team. So I also have another album I wanted to put out.
Yeah. Well, we'll make sure we share all of your contact info and let the fans know. But yeah, that's what's so crazy is like that's been my vision that I've been trying to work on. And
I'll be waiting for that phone call.
Yeah, so like, because you think about it, like we as local artists don't get a chance to perform in front of crowds like that.
We're not singing the national anthem or rapping it. You know what I'm saying? So it really isn't a big stage.
Yeah, so that's always been the vision. So my 5-year plan was get the football team up and running, build the music community up to be able to support it, and then be able, and not only that, but it's also, imagine like your football season is say 8 to 10 weeks. So imagine when the fans come in and they get what is it called?
Pamphlet?
The pamphlet, right, for like the up and coming season. Yeah. Well, guess what? Now you're being promoted to not. So imagine this. So like, here's the big vision. Yeah. 8 games out of the season. We have say 5 home games. If we sell out that 7,000 in the stadium, that's 35,000 people.
That's right.
That would come to a Bombers function for the year. Yeah. So imagine if your name is put out in front of 35,000 people.
Somebody's gonna take that shot.
Right.
Save that name.
Right, and then you get to perform in front of potentially 7,000. Like that blows your numbers like sky high, and everybody in the city now knows who you are. Yeah. Right, and so like that's why for me like it's frustrating because I'm like, man, I got this vision, but I know I can do it, but why is it taking me so long? Well, because of all these like little obstacles in the way.
the little bumps in the road.
Yeah. So with that being said, we'll change subjects. So how did you guys come up with the name Bank City?
That's all on Shrek. He already had it. He's from Sacramento. Oh. So we're the Bank City Northwest.
Oh, okay.
So that's all Shrek.
Okay. I think now saying that is from Sacktown, I think I know where the Bank City came from.
Now you got it. Yeah. So we're Bank City Northwest. Yeah.
Got it. So like a separate division. Okay. That's cool. So what else is going on outside of just music? Outside of music, what have you been working on?
Just trying to live every day, you know what I'm saying? Trying to stay positive. I've been working out more. I joined the Y. Just trying to spend time with my family, my children, my grandchildren, stuff like that.
Wow. Okay. So, with that being said, so that actually brings me up to another crazy question. So, I have a son as well. Part of it's interesting because
shout out to Camden.
What's been kind of crazy right now is like he's at that stage where he's starting to like memorize the lyrics and like my song will come on in the car on a playlist and then he'll start singing the song the words to it, and so I don't cuss in every song. Like if I cuss in a song, it's because I'm trying to make a point. But with that being said, there's like songs where I don't cuss at all. There's songs where you know, I don't cuss a lot, but I do.
Right.
But now it's like, when he's listening to it, I'm like, hey, you can't use that word at school. You know what I mean? So like, how is like, have you had those discussions with your children about like, you know, like what songs they can say, or like how does that work in your household?
I'm just all about expression, and I think what happens behind closed doors stays behind closed doors. But like, yeah, my granddaughter sings "Pigeon Brain Bitch." You know what I'm saying? She gets it, and that's what she wants to do. Express yourself. When my kids were little, I would let them dye their hair, or you know what I'm saying, pierce their ears and stuff like that. I feel like this is only our vessel. You know what I'm saying? This is our train car, and some train cars are like painted, some are dented, some are empty. You know what I'm saying? Just be yourself, because this is only our shell. And so, language, I don't know, I've always been me, so that's what they're going to hear. I don't want to hide anything for them or pretend like it's something that's not. So I like to let them do what they do in-house. Yeah, like you can't go sing that at school in front of the teacher, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's not a good idea. But in the car, we can talk however we want, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I really like self-expression and being who you are, because they're going to be an adult anyways. They're going to hear stuff anyways. They're going to see stuff anyways. We shouldn't shield them from everything. And they're going to get shocked when they're an adult.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the reason I bring that up is because I'm finding that like people are very not stereotypical, but they're judgmental. Because like, to give you an example, I have this song. Well, I was talking to this female artist. About like trying to work with her, and she came back and she's like, "Yeah, so I can't work with you." And I'm like, "What do you mean you can't work with me?" And then she was like, "Well, you call women bitches." And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, so for like, as soon as she said it, it was like I almost like froze, like I was in the Matrix, right? And I'm like, wait, is she talking about the old verse, like my old catalog, or is she talking about my new music? Because I was confused, right? And I'm like, what is she talking about? And so I was like, well, I said to her, I was like, well, you know, in my old catalog, I may have done it, but you know, like my new music, I don't like, because at the time, like I was, you know, like I said, my album was recorded, so there was no cuss words on that whole album. I made the album, actually, my album that I was supposed to release was actually made for my mom, because, you know, she didn't want any profanity in the music, so I made a whole entire album that she could listen to and be supportive of. So when she was like, oh, you call women bitches, I'm like, no, I think you got the wrong artist. And she was like, no, she's like, you know, that song right there. And I'm like, what song? So fast forward the tape, I finally figured out it wasn't even me that said it.
Oh shit.
It was someone else on the song that had said it. And so she was like, well, because you affiliate with that, I can't affiliate with you. So so I'm curious as being female, like, how is that like transpired for you? Because you are female, like, you know, but, you know, for example, like, you know, Pigeon Brain Bitch. Like, how is that, like, what is your take on that? Because, like, for me, I take it kind of personal. I'm like, man, someone tells me they can't work with me. I'm like, you guys don't, okay. I have 6 degrees. Like, I'm very well-spoken and articulate, like, to judge me off of, like, using the word, like, it's almost kind of, like, hypocritical, because it's like, oh, well, you use the word bitch, I don't want to work with you. Oh, don't tell me you ain't never used the word bitch before.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, that's my bitch.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? And so I'm like, I'm sitting there like, oh, you're one of them. Like, and I'm like, okay, I got you.
I don't take anything anybody says personal. If you think I'm a bitch in a bad way, good for you. Then that means you're going to stay away from me. You think I'm a bitch in a good way, you know what I'm saying? Then come work with me. I try not to get offended. I've had people that we've sent songs to that didn't want to get on my stuff, not because of language, they just weren't interested. Maybe it was the wrong beat, or maybe it was the wrong content, or whatever it was. But yeah, I don't really care about language. Ain't nobody gonna break me over their words at all. So, and I don't mind being called a bitch, like a good bitch. You know
I didn't mean like you, but I'm just saying like what has been your take with like other people being reactive to you, like utilizing that word to your advantage? You know what I mean? Like,
I haven't heard anything back. They really like it. I say it a lot of times on Pigeon Brain Bitch. every other bar is Pigeon Brain Bitch, and so I think they get a kick out of it. I try to put a little humor in there with it, and it's like, you know, a lot of people can relate because they know some dingy broads, you know what I'm saying, that are pigeon brains, you know what I'm saying, and if they take it personal, then it must hit the right spot.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel. If they don't like it, you ain't gotta listen to it. You can change the station.
Yeah. So like, so I know you were saying like with your new album like coming out, like what are some of the concepts like that you work on for the new album?
Well, we know I always gotta have a weed track on there. And then I told you earlier I ran away as a child, so I want to kind of dig a little bit into that and what it was like, in the 80s.
Okay.
To be straight in the crack era, you know what I'm saying? I want to just touch a little bit on that. I want to have some more guests, on my stuff, some more features. And then I want to talk about how my life has changed as an adult now, you know what I'm saying? And having adult children and stuff like that. And
that's a new term I've heard a lot lately. Is adult
children, yeah. They are my adult kids, children. I want to talk about that a little bit too. Just try to represent myself and show people, open my book and read into me a little bit,
Yeah. I'll be honest, I have a daughter. She's not, she's 19.
That's adult. She's an adult.
Well, no. She'll be turning 19. So, but with that being said, it's like, some of the conversations we've had, because she was raised with her mom, and so like, she came here and she like was trying to pull some stunts, and I was like, that don't work here.
Not in this house.
Not in this house. And so she was like, well, yeah, I'm going back to mom's then. So so I'm learning how to be able to deal with that whole environment of, hey, I've got this almost adult child that's living with their other parent who lets them get away with murder, and it's like, no, that don't fly here because you gotta be this and this. And it's not that I'm not like militant. It's more I want my kids to be successful, and I'm trying to get them to understand like what success looks like.
Right.
Whereas like they're like, oh well, I don't want to do this job or I don't want to do that. And it's like, well, you got to go through those things so you can learn the experiences. Don't just say you don't don't say you don't like it because you don't want to do it. Well, every day we get up and do things we don't want to do.
Every day.
Do we want to sit in traffic for an hour?
No.
Hell fucking no.
No. But we're going to do it.
We got to do it.
That's right.
And so like trying to get them to really understand like, hey, like, there's more to life, but you got to be able to step out of your comfort zone and, live a little. That's been definitely difficult with me lately as that. And then have, the extreme of, the adult child versus like, my youngest.
That's what I want to do. I want to tap into the old days, and then I want to kind of show what it's like now. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not in the streets no more doing what I used to do when I was young. Back when before social media, before cell phones and all that stuff, we was doing some crazy stuff. I mean, I don't know about yourself.
It wasn't caught on camera.
None of it was on camera. I'm good. I'm not going viral back then. You know what I'm saying? But I was probably doing some viral stuff.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, it's funny too because like on my EDM project, I have a song called 1989.
Ooh.
And it's EDM music, so there's not a ton of lyrics, so I'm not like rapping about 1989. It's more just the experience of 1989.
Okay.
And so like, I'm sitting here in my head and I'm like, okay, I need to make a music video for it.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I was a child, so like I'm like, what was 89 like? You know what I mean? But I just remember like the Mustang 5.0 GTs, like all the cool cars that you could actually really soup up. Not this new era bullshit that they're coming out with, but like the true like muscle cars and stuff. And so in my head I'm thinking like, man, like what was it like growing up in the 80s? What was it like growing up in the 90s? Because like I remember things like the cell phones and the pagers, that kind of stuff, but I don't remember like playing, you know what I mean? Like I knew we played outside a lot, but like I was thinking about it, I'm like, well, what was it like? Like, you know what I mean? Like what like for example, like we didn't have TikTok. So like, we didn't have TikTok and Instagram. So what was it like being a kid and
just
what
living life, huh?
You know what I mean?
Going outside pretending playing with sticks and rocks and finding salamanders and playing with your dog or riding your bike with the whole group, stuff like that. I liked it. It was a good time. But like I said, I'm a Gemini, so I'm very imaginative. I'll find something to do. I'm also an only child, so I didn't have a lot of kids to play with and stuff. I'm the only child out of my family. All my cousins have a brother or a sister or more.
Okay.
And so it was a lot of imaginary time by myself, you know what I'm saying, or with my dad and mom, you know, if they would jump in or whatever. But see, we didn't know we were missing out on anything. We didn't know that we could get our mind. That was after us. So what we were doing was fine. I would stand on the porch and sing, or go pick blackberries, or you know what I'm saying, just real life shit before any of that stuff that would distract us.
Yeah.
I loved it growing up. I wish my kids would have had that more. But I take my kid when I was raising them, I'd take them to the parks, take them swimming, stuff like that. Leave all that stuff at home. Yeah. Just don't even think about that stuff, because that's, you know, we only do this one time, living. You know what I'm saying? And so like, you have to enjoy it. And like I said, we live in such a beautiful place. We can always go find something to do. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't cost much. You know what I'm saying? Or you know, look at the flowers. Stop and smell the flowers. How you know?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah,
like,
that's what we really did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. I liked growing up then. I feel like we had more experience, more lumps and bumps. We're the reason why there's helmets now. We're the reason, you know what I'm saying? We're the reason that you have to wear a seatbelt and stuff like that. We used to, you know, lump up in the car as many of us as could, you know, but it's just not like that no more. We kind of set the trend as far as the safety place.
Yeah, because we was trying everything.
We was.
Hey, let me jump this BMX off this little twig and see if I can make it. Yeah.
And we wasn't camera. We weren't doing the camera shot. That was some live stuff. You got to catch it once.
Yeah.
If they fall, that's what it is.
Yeah, it's funny you mention that, because I remember now thinking about it after you was talking about that. Mm-hmm. Man, I remember one time specifically, I won the skateboard. Mm-hmm. It was like this wide body skateboard, and I won it from a carnival. Yeah. And where I lived I grew up in Skyway, so we had this like super crazy hill. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the degree angle was, but it was steep. So I'm standing at the top of the hill. I'm like, I want to see what this bad boy can do. Mm-hmm. So here I go. I'm flying down my skateboard. I'm doing my thing. I must have got probably, I don't know, 10 feet into it, and all you see is.
Was it a rock? Was it a little pebble or something got you?
Something got in my wheel.
Did you get back on the skateboard?
Oh, hell no. No, it was bad. It was so bad, because literally I was like, doop, 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 doop. And I'm like, this is this is probably like a 2-mile hill, so like all the way down.
Is it the one that's going down into Renton?
No.
It's going the other way?
No, it's off of Renton Avenue.
Okay.
Like behind Campbell Hill Elementary School. Okay. And I'm telling you, man, like I to this day I've never gotten on a skateboard after that, because man,
you retired. That was your one time.
Oh yeah, I ain't never been on a skateboard since. Because as soon as I got up, I looked at myself and I was like, oh shit. I'm like, I had like, I got holes in my jeans. This ain't nothing. I was wearing corduroys that day. I can tell you exactly what I was wearing. Yes. It looked like a raccoon attacked me, because my shit was fucked up.
So that's what it was like growing up before digital times.
Oh yeah. You know, and it's crazy too, because like, you know, like even the basketball courts have changed. Because like we used to have like full-on basketball courts outside that, you know, and like we had, back then we had two. So we had ones that were 8 feet and we had ones that were 11 feet. Yeah. You know, and so like, you know, we used to have games where like, you know, people would come down and dunk and do crazy stuff. And it's like, now it's like they don't even have basketball courts half the time. Or it's like a half court and you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, where's the rest of the court? You know? And so like, yeah, it's just, it's crazy. So like, I know you said like you liked growing up back then, but you would choose growing up in the 80s, 90s again versus the new era of being a teenager. And
I was actually raised in the 70s and 80s.
No shit.
Yeah, so I'm 50.
Okay.
So yeah, no, I loved it all. I love it all. I like even this, you know what I'm saying? I'd rather talk to you like this than call you. Yeah. You know, and I'd rather see you and have a, you know, in-person thing. Turn the phone off, no problem. You know what I'm saying? I would do that all the time if I could. But I gotta stay caught up now. Right. So now I have to get used to that digital stuff. Like you were saying, followers and stuff like that. I had 2 TikToks where you have to get 1,000 followers to go live. Okay. Right. But then I messed up. On the first one was smoking in Seattle on TikTok, and they banned my whole account, shut it down. Okay, for just a couple minutes, I was like, "Oh, we're pulling into Seattle." So then I got another 1,000 on my new account, and then it was just like, you know, I want to stay caught up and stuff like that, but it just didn't feel personal enough. Like I really want to be out here performing, and so people can really see me, you know, without judging. when you look at me, you don't know what to expect, but when you hear me, you're like, oh, okay, you're a rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So I do need that digital thing now to even be seen like I want to, but yeah, I would choose to be raised back in the day, in the 1900s, any day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's crazy. Yeah, I didn't think about that. I have a TikTok, but I'll be honest, I really don't. You know, it's the crazy part for me is like everybody's pushing social content.
Yeah.
You know, so hard, but it's hard because it's like when you're in the studio every day, when you're trying to work on a music video every day, my first reaction isn't
share.
You know, like, hey, let me go like record this live or like let me go film this because ultimately, you know, I'm trying to work on whatever and I'm trying to make sure it's, you know, it's perfected correctly and whatnot. So you know, so it's a really I struggle with that. We're almost out of time, so if there's one thing, what would you want to leave the fans with as far as like how do you overcome your most crazy struggle right now?
Woo, my most crazy struggle.
Or what is one struggle you're focused on right now that you're trying to overcome? And how are you working?
My health. I'm trying to get my health together. I lost my mom in September.
Okay.
And so and it was sudden. Okay. And so I just want to dedicate my life to her. I have a song called Ruby on my first album, and I was able to perform that for her before she passed.
Oh, that's awesome.
Give her flowers now, which is in the song as well.
Yeah.
So I want to live for my grandkids and my mom's grandkids, which are my children. So I really just want to work on my health. I need to try to quit smoking cigarettes. I've been going to the Y now 3 times a week. I'm starting 5 times a week because I've been there over a month.
Yeah.
And I just really want people to know that I'm a cool cat. You know what I'm saying? I'm approachable and, you know, spread love. That's about it.
That's awesome. And with that being said, y'all, we're out of time. We will catch Mama D on Chop It Up Again.
Bang City.
We be going overtime.
Thank you.